Okay, so distance time graphs can be really useful pieces of information. Not only from this graph can we see whatever object this was travelled a distance of 14 kilometres in 16 hours, we can also get a bit more information from this graph. So this might be the journey of a walker, for example, okay, travelling 14 kilometres in 16 hours. We can see here that they took a rest. Okay, so this stationary part of the graph, so they were stationary from hour 10 until hour 12, so they rested for 2 hours, in which they were totally stationary when they were 10 kilometres away from their starting point. Okay, but we can also analyse the speed at which they were travelling, or their average speed of travel. So if we have a look at we can see that there are two areas of constant speed on this graph. So there is an area of constant speed here, so this whole first bit until 10 hours, and there's another area of constant speed here until 16 hours. They are two areas of constant speed. Now we can work out those speeds, we can see if they were the same, we can see if they were different, we can compare them. Now we know that speed equals distance divided by time. And we've got both distance and time. It's a distance time graph. So we should be able to work out the speed using this equation. So I need to know how far did they travel and how long did it take them. But I must do this for the different sections of the graph, because he would be travelling at a different constant speed for both of the sections. So in this first section, he travelled a distance of 10 kilometres and it took him 10 hours. Okay, so we can do distance divided by time. 10 kilometres divided by 10 hours. And we can find out how many kilometres an hour this person was travelling at. And we can see that they were travelling 1 kilometre per hour. Okay, so we can go ahead and add that onto the graph. So in this section, they were travelling 1 kilometre an hour. Okay, so let me get rid of this extra pieces of information. Lovely. And then we can have a look at the second part of the graph, the second part of constant speed. So here it's really important that we measure it from here to here. We only look at this triangle that the line has formed. Okay, because if we take this all the way back to the 0 line, we're not going to get this same speed. Okay, so the speed is the distance travelled in that section. Okay, and the distance travelled in that section where they were at 10 and then they made it to 14. So the distance travelled in that section is 4 kilometres. It's the height of this line here. Okay, so the distance is 4 kilometres. And the time it took for them to travel that 4 kilometres is only this section here. So from 12 to 16 hours. Okay, so again, 4 hours. Okay, so we can do 4 kilometres divided by 4 hours to find the speed. And once again, they were travelling at 1 kilometre an hour. We can go ahead and add this onto the graph. Okay, so what you've just done here is you have calculated two gradients. Now the gradient is the height of a triangle on your graph divided by the length, okay, or the width. So that is just finding out how far did they travel and how long did it take them. We've done the distance divided by the time. So you can, for any straight section of a distance time graph, calculate the speed by doing the gradient, doing the distance divided by the time.